All right, let's jump right in. We're going to build the ultimate blueprint to take your interview game from just okay to absolutely unforgettable. This isn't just about answering questions, it's about owning the room.
So picture this, because we've all been there, right? You've got two candidates. On paper, they are identical. Same skills, same experience, but only one of them gets the offer. Why? What is that invisible thing that makes all the difference?
Well, to figure that out, we've got to look at where things usually go wrong. Because, and this is the important part, the reason one person gets the job and the other doesn't, it almost never has to do with their resume. The real competition is happening somewhere else entirely. And here it is, the big secret. The difference maker isn't on the paper, it's in your head. It all comes down to your mindset. That's what colors every single word you say, every action you take, and it's what ultimately tells the interviewer how to feel about your qualifications. And if you need proof, just look at this number, 42%. A study from Harvard Business School found that when you project genuine confidence, you are a staggering 42% more likely to land the job offer than someone who's just as qualified but seems anxious. See, interviewers have this thing called a competence bias. Their brains automatically connect confidence with being good at your job. That's not a small difference. That is a huge advantage. So the big question is, how do you make sure you're on the winning side of that 42%? Well, it all starts with winning the internal game. That mindset battle that happens way before you ever walk into the interview room. Do any of these sound a little too familiar? That fear of being told no, or that nagging voice in your head that says you don't really belong there? That's imposter syndrome. Or maybe it's the memory of a past interview that just went completely off the rails. These are the mental roadblocks that trip us up without us even realizing it. They make us play it safe and hide how valuable we really are. But here's a super powerful and simple trick, also backed by a Harvard study. Instead of trying to force yourself to calm down, which almost never works, just do a little reframe. Tell yourself, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. That one simple switch takes all that shaky adrenaline and turns it into focused positive energy. It literally flips a weakness into your biggest strength. Okay, so we've got our mindset dialed in. Now it's time to get practical. Because once you're sitting in that chair, having great experiences isn't enough. You have to be able to talk about them in a way that's powerful and, most importantly, memorable. And the absolute gold standard for doing that is something called the STAR method. Think of it as your secret formula. It takes a rambling, messy answer and turns it into a sharp, compelling story about the impact you've made. It's so simple. It breaks down into 4 easy steps. First, S for situation, just quickly set the scene. T for task, what was your specific assignment? A for action, what exactly did you do? And then, and this is where the magic really happens, R for result, what was the specific, measurable outcome because of what you did? And just look at the difference it makes. The response on the left is fine. It's vague, it's forgettable. But the one on the right, using the STAR method, it's specific, it's strategic, it's full of impact. You didn't just help out, you improved team velocity by 40%. Now, which of those two people sounds like they know what they're doing? But a killer interview isn't just about having the right words. Let's zoom out a bit, because there's a whole other layer of communication happening. The things you're saying without saying anything at all. This is about your personal brand and your physical presence. Think about your professional brand as what makes you, you. It's your unique value, and it's built on a foundation. It starts with your core values, which then shape your professional philosophy and your career story, and all of that defines your unique impact style. When you know this, you come across as so much more authentic and memorable. Now, if you still think it's all about the words you choose, get ready for this. This number is a game changer. Research from UCLA found that a mind-blowing 93% of how effective our communication is comes from nonverbal cues, not the words. Why? Because our brains are wired to judge things like trust and credibility based on tone and body language way before we even process the actual meaning of the words. So what does that 93% actually look like? Well, it's all of this. It's the way you make eye contact, the way you hold yourself, the confidence in your voice. When you get these things right, your physical presence doesn't just support your words, it amplifies them. It makes you believable. Okay, time to bring it all home. This final part is about making that full transformation. It's about going from just another candidate to a confident professional who can handle absolutely anything an interviewer throws their way. You know that moment when they ask a question that totally blindsides you and your mind just goes blank? For those moments, you need the pause method. It's a lifesaver. You pause to take a breath. You acknowledge the question. You seek to understand what they're really asking. You structure your answer, maybe using STAR, and then you engage. It is your secret weapon to stay cool, calm, and in control. At the end of the day, this whole thing isn't about becoming a robot who feels zero nerves. That's not realistic. The real win is learning how to take that nervous energy, channel it into something productive, and show up as the most authentic, capable version of yourself every single time.
And I really want to leave you with this idea. Forget about being perfect. Perfection isn't the goal. The real goal is capability. It's about building the skill to walk into any room under any kind of pressure and confidently show them the incredible value that only you can bring to the table. And that, right there, is the blueprint for success.